Hello, gang, and welcome back to another version of AC 130 Sports. What a week it was at the country club in Brookline, Massachusetts. Matt Fitzpatrick gets his first major victory, a one-shot win over Will Zalatoris and Scotty Scheffler. And you got to be happy for this kid. Matt Fitzpatrick battled the whole way, hit 17 out of 18 greens in regulation yesterday. The announcers were saying it was one of the best ball striking performances they've ever seen on a Sunday at a major championship. And I'd have to agree with them. I mean, that shot he hit on 18 out of the bunker, sticks it to 20 feet, right behind the flagstick, ends up two putting for his par. That ended up being enough. But when he was in that bunker, I thought a bogey was coming. I thought it was going to be a three-way playoff between Scheffler, Zalatoris, and Matt Fitzpatrick. So, well done, Matt Fitzpatrick. He was one of the alternates we picked this week in our U.S. Open preview. So we picked 5 golfers that we liked and then 2 alternates. So if you haven't seen that video yet, guys, give that a watch. It's only a minute long. But well done, Matt Fitzpatrick, and his caddy, Billy Foster. Been on the bag 40 years for some of the likes like Seve Ballesteros, Darren Clarke. Been on 12 U.S. Ryder Cup teams as a caddy. Gets his first major championship on Sunday. So it was a cool moment seeing him kiss the flag on 18. So well done, Matt Fitzpatrick, and well done, Billy Foster. I want to go through some of the 5 golfers that I liked this week and how they did. Rory McIlroy was one guy that we thought was going to do really well and ended up playing extremely well. Tied for 5th, I believe he finished at 2 under. Thursday, tied for the lead at 3 under. From there, he plays over par golf. As I stated, finishes at 2 under. So I think Rory's problem is he just can't put 4 good rounds of golf together. It seems like he either starts poorly or finishes really strong, or starts really well like he did this week at the U.S. Open and just kind of fizzles out down the stretch. Was putting the lights out Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, not so much. It seems like he couldn't buy a birdie. He was missing 10 footers for birdie left and right. Just couldn't make a putt. And that happens sometimes with Rory, as the putter is not his strength. But I think he's close. I think it would be a great story if he got off his major drought with a win at the Old Course, St. Andrews. How incredible would that be? But I think for Rory, just got a consistency. 4 good rounds of golf, and then let's see where that takes you. But good for Rory. He's back into form, so I'm happy for that. That's good for the game of golf. Sam Burns was another guy we stated we liked this weekend. Man, he really played well for 3.5 rounds. I believe shot a 40 or 41 on the back 9 yesterday. Finishes at +5, tied for 27th. But all day Saturday, Sam Burns was kind of the mix. Was sitting at that 2 or 3 under. Was like a tied for 5th or somewhere in that range, and I think just fell apart on the back 9 yesterday. That comes with experience, right? The more major championships you're in on Sunday, the less the nerves get to you, the better you play coming home. So I like Sam Burns' game a lot. As I stated, he already has 2 wins this year in the PGA Tour. So the sky's the limit for this kid. Just experience, right? And I think he'll be a lot better. Another one that we liked heading into this week was Max Homa. I know to many this was an extremely surprising pick, but the kid just plays great golf on difficult golf courses, and that's what the U.S. Open is all about. After Thursday, he was sitting at 1 under, a gutty 1 under. Tough conditions Thursday. I believe was 2 over after round 2, so he makes the cut. But I think from there, it was a nightmare. I think he finished at a +9, tied for 47th. I follow Max Homa on Twitter. He's a great personality, really great for the game of golf, but he said he just lost all feel in his putter Saturday and Sunday. So one of the worst putting performances he's had in a long time, he stated. So that happens, right? Those greens were running probably at a 12 or 13, and a lot of undulation, a lot of break. You lose the feel, you can get in trouble in a hurry, and I think that's what happened to Max Homa. But good for Max Homa. He made the cut, and when difficult golf courses come, he usually steps up his game. So keep an eye on him. Keep an eye out for him when the conditions get difficult. Shane Lowry was another guy we thought was going to play really well. Unfortunately, misses the cut. Finishes at +4 for the first 2 days. Cut ended up being a +3. I thought for sure it was going to be a made cut for Lowry. Up until this past weekend, he had made 11 straight cuts at the majors. That was the longest active streak right now on the PGA Tour. So, of course, he misses the cut. He was in contention Thursday for a little bit. I know he was sitting at 2 under for a while. The guy hits a lot of fairways and a lot of greens, so that bodes well for U.S. Opens. Must have just faltered on the back nine Thursday and into his round Friday. Finishes a +4. Didn't see much of coverage of Shane Lowry. That leads me to another point, guys. The U.S. Open coverage this week was horrible. The PGA Tour and the USGA need to figure it out. I mean, it was Peacock to USA to back to NBC. And then yesterday on Sunday, they were going to do commercial breaks on important shots. And then they were doing the playthrough commercials where you see the screen in the top left, but you can't hear anything. You can barely see. So PGA Tour, be better. USGA, be better. Especially with the Live Golf coming. You got to up your game a little bit. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. But back to Shane Lowry, just a disappointing miscut. I'm sure he would tell you he's disappointed too, but keep an eye out for him at the old course at St. Andrews. Already has a British Open under his belt, so you can never count out Shane Lowry. Corey Connors was one of the alternates we picked. Misses the cut by 1 stroke, finishes a +4. He was actually in the semifinals versus Matt Fitzpatrick in the U.S. Amateur in 2013 at the Country Club. Of course, Matt Fitzpatrick would go on to win the U.S. Amateur. I believe Matt Fitzpatrick is the only golfer in history to win the U.S. Amateur and the U.S. Open at the same course. So obviously he likes the visuals of Brookline, and obviously he plays extremely well there. But Corey Connors, like I said, I didn't get to see much of him Thursday and Friday. Misses the cut by 1 stroke. But we had a pretty good week, guys. 4 out of the 6 golfers I talked about already made the cut. And that was in the video we made on Thursday. But it would have been even sweeter if the guy we picked to win, Will Zalatoris, pulled it off. Just misses that putt on 18. Left it on the left edge. He thought I was going to go right. It just never did. But what can you say about this kid, guys? 150 pounds soaking wet. Just continuously plays well in majors. Will Zalatoris is undoubtedly my favorite golfer right now on the PGA Tour. There's nothing not to like about the kid. Was graceful in defeat yesterday. Went right up to Matt Fitzpatrick and congratulated him. He's going to win many U.S. Opens and many majors in my opinion. Just look at his 2022 run in the majors. Top 5 at Augusta. Second alone at the PGA Championship, losing a playoff to JT, and misses out by 1 stroke to Matt Fitzpatrick yesterday, tied for second with Scottie Scheffler. I believe the turning point for Zalatoris was hole 15 yesterday. He hits it a little right and gets in the long stuff and makes bogey. Fitzpatrick actually hits it farther right than Zalatoris. Gets a little lucky, gets to a spot where the patrons have been standing, so the grass was trampled down, gets a good lie, hits an unbelievable shot to 15 feet, and drains the birdie on 15 to go 2 up. So Zalatoris couldn't battle. He had his opportunities on 18, but I just love this kid's game. I love his demeanor. He's a ball striker. Sometimes he's got a little funky putting stroke, but hey, they go down. So there's nothing about this kid's game that you can't not like. He kind of gives me Brooks Koepka's vibe as well, where he just shows up in the majors. You really don't hear his name too much in the other tournaments, but 4 times a year in those majors, you better believe Will Zalatoris is coming. So if I was a betting man, I would throw him in my pool to win the Open Championship at the old course. He's just always there. I mean, the stats speak for themselves, guys. He's probably going to have another top 5, if not win it. So good for Will Zalatoris. I love the kid to death, and he's going to win many majors in the future. But we will do another preview and a post-up follow-up for the British Open, which is at the old course in a couple weeks. So keep an eye on that, guys. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for additional sports content. We'll catch you on the flip side, everyone. Thanks.